the majority of B2B companies doesn't have the sales problem, but they rather have the go-to-market approach problem. In this video, I want to talk about the sales system, which is being used by top B2B companies, which allows them to book a lot of meetings consistently, have a very predictable pipeline without actually hiring any additional SDRs or manpower. But first of all, we gotta talk about why the majority of go-to-market system break. They break because they don't have the systematic approach, as funny and ironic as it sounds. Because the typical symptoms of a go-to-market system which doesn't work, first of all, it's random or inconsistent pipeline. It's also low outbound conversion, very weak or even non-existent inbound funnel. Manual processes is a big problem for a lot of sales teams as well. Poor CRM hygiene, meaning the CRM is chaotic, it's not systemized. Misaligned messaging, there is no automation layer, and reps are overworked and underperforming, which also happens quite often nowadays. And so solution to this problem, in our opinion, at strongest, is to connect outbound, inbound, and RevOps into one integrated system. So the strongest system is about 3 engines within one machine, right? So imagine a car, it has 3 different engines and they work together towards the one shared goal, is to let the car drive as fast as possible towards its destination. That's how I want you to think about this system. And first of all, we got to start with outbound engine, right? The main purpose of it is to start proactively creating the demand and generate meetings, right? This includes ICP segmentation, lead sourcing, enrichments, signal-based targeting, right? Multi-channel outreach, meaning we are using cold emails, LinkedIn DMs, we are using cold calls, maybe even direct mails. We definitely take care of deliverability and our sending infrastructure. We do the follow-ups consistently, and we do outbound analytics to see which sort of messaging performs the best, and we iterate based on the results we get. Then, of course, inbound engine, right? So we collect leads, we qualify them from different sources, we enrich them, we nurture them with personalization dependent on the context, right? For example, if they go on our website, we enrich them, add them to the CRM, so the reps have context, they can go and actually reach out to those potential clients. Then meeting booking flows, we also enrich those leads. We send them personalized info. We send them some sort of lead magnets, right, to nurture them before the call, and also conversion optimization. When it comes to RevOps engine, here we want to take care of the, first of all, of the CRM, right? Then also automation workflows, that's important. Lead handling logic, so who gets which lead and when. Data hygiene, sales alerts. So making sure the sales reps that you already have within your company are being leveraged to their maximum potential. Instead of them doing some manual stuff, the majority of work is automated and they can focus on the actual selling, meaning having those conversations with potential clients and convincing them that their product or service is worth buying. Talking about outbound engine, we want to have a detailed breakdown wherever it's possible. Of course, we want to talk about, first of all, ICP targeting, meaning that there should be primary and secondary ICP. You need to define your ICP very clearly, who you target, why them, what sort of signals they have, right, which can indicate that this particular ICP is on the lookout for the service or product you have, right? Firmographics, technographics, of course, funding triggers, and role level mapping, because different functions, different roles, right? They might be caring about different aspects, even though the product remains the same. Then, of course, lead sourcing is quite important because you need to leverage multiple data sources to find the leads for your particular ICP, right? We use the tools like Clay, Apollo, LinkedIn, maybe some industry-specific databases. Like, for example, for e-com, we have store leads, maybe some national, the governmental resources as well. could be of use. For example, for hospitals, that's quite obvious one. Messaging framework, it's very important. We personalize the openers, right? There should be some sort of observation about the prospect and why we are reaching out right now. Then there should be some sort of insight, which kind of leads the prospects to the thinking about their problem, right? Maybe this could be the poke the bear question, which also makes people emotional, right? And makes them think about their problem. And then we do, of course, elevator pitch, and we offer those people some free value, lead magnet or sales asset to start building the relationship and convert them much better rather than doing the direct pitching. Outreach infrastructure is important, right? You want to use different providers to diversify your sending infrastructure. I actually have a whole video about it. You can take a look at it. Also, when it comes to LinkedIn, make sure you're using the trusted tools when it comes to LinkedIn outreach, like, for example, AimFox, or some people prefer HeyReach. Those are great ones. They are certified by the majority of outbound agencies and also just sales reps. So you can use those as well for doing the LinkedIn outreach. Outbound channels, also important topic. We have cold email, we have LinkedIn outreach, we have cold calling, we have direct mails as well. This could be sometimes used. For example, if you live in a particular country, you can send direct mails within this country to your leads. And outbound KPIs, reply rate, you can track this. It's not that important, but still it kind of shows if the offer is even like worth testing or not. Then, of course, positive reply rate, meeting booking rate, show up rate, like how many of the calls are actually happening, and a weekly pipeline created. That's also important, or could be bi-weekly pipeline created, meaning how many calls you're booking every 2 weeks. And based on those sprints, you can iterate and change your approach. When it comes to RevOps engine, it's very important to keep your CRM clean and simple to use. So you want to have a couple of pipeline stages, right? The kind of easiest way to do it, you could count people as first of all lead, then you have MQL, so marketing qualified lead, then you have SQL, and of course then it's either closed won or closed lost. So that's the simplest way to do it. You need also to make sure that every single lead is attributed to a specific sales rep to kind of avoid, right, misunderstandings. So every rep takes care of their accounts and their leads. And that's very important. You could also add an automation layer, which I think is brilliant to do. So you could auto-create tasks. For example, a person replies positively to our cold email. A task to add this person on LinkedIn is being created automatically and added to the responsible person's task list. You could auto-update CRM fields, you could auto-generate notes, right? You could auto-sync the research data. For example, pre-discovery kind of research is a great way to let your salespeople be prepared for the call. So as soon as the call booked, a prompt is being run, right? And it analyzes the website, their social profiles, and gives all of the necessary information for the sales rep to come prepared and make it easier for them to succeed and close the client. Then, of course, sales, intelligence and signals, website visits, high intent behavior, right? We can also add here the social listening by using, for example, a tool which is called Trigify, right? Which allows you to see the activity and engagement based on specific keywords or topics. And of course, data quality and data hygiene. So you want to make sure that your data is clean. For that, you need to do quarterly cleanup. Make also sure that you do the duplicate control. You don't have the similar, let's say, records in your CRM, right? That's also very important. And also create standardized fields and naming conventions, meaning that every SDR has a SOP, like standardized procedure on how they should fill in all of the fields for the specific contact, and it kind of lets you avoid the chaos of having 15 different ways of creating records within your CRM. And of course, what I also like is dashboard and reporting, right? So you can do revenue dashboards, the sales rep activity, right? Rep performance. You could also do the forecast, which is also good for the financial department of your company, right? And based on the data and how clean it is, it would be much easier for you also to have all of those statistics and dashboards. Then the next thing is inbound engine. Of course, you want to collect leads from all of the different sources, right? Website forms, Calendly, chat widgets, LinkedIn DMs, email replies, organic content, and events. You want to combine all of those into one system to collect and capture those leads, right? Then, of course, you want to run the enrichments and qualification on them. So you want to build conditional tables within Clay. I have also a video about it where, based on the specific criterias, right, the leads will be classified as qualified or not qualified. And based on how many of the, let's say, conditions make them qualified, the lead will either go further through the workflow, or it will be stopped and it won't be enriched any further. Of course, you want to do it on both company and person level data, right? And based on different scenarios, you could have ready for sales, you could have not ready, you could have not ICP. This is again the simplest way to do it, right? So if it's ready for sales, they move straight to the sales workflow. If it's not ready, then we send them to nurturing sequences. And if it's not ICP, then we just disregard this particular lead. And also lead nurture system, right? We could nurture them based on different sort of things like attributes like industry, persona, pain points. However, you don't want to overcomplicate this as well. I would say you probably need 3 to 5 different scenarios dependent on your company, based on which you're going to nurture your prospects. But please not more than that, because it's going to get messy as well and a bit misleading for your sales team, right? And then we have the conversion layer, right? Assignment rules, lead handling logic, criteria for when leads go to sales, when they go to nurture, and also automated follow-up sequences, which allow your salespeople, again, focus on particularly selling and not doing all of those manual tasks. Because why would they do it if it can be automated? Why would you steal deliberately the time from your sales team for them to actually sell, right? Why would you steal this time? It's better for them to focus on what they can do best and why you actually hired them. And then the system integration, right? How all of those 3 components work together. So outbound to RevOps, right? The signals, they trigger research. So all outbound actions, they are being synchronized to CRM. So as soon as we get interested reply, it's being registered and attributed to specific lead within the CRM. So you know when this lead engaged with your outbound messaging, right? When was the last time you had a chat? So it's also much easier for your sales team to navigate. You can also score and update it based on the engagement, and sales team are being notified automatically that, hey, we got an interested response. Please go respond to this lead and try to book them for the meeting. Again, this makes our response time under 5 minutes, right? Which increases the conversion chances by almost 50%. Then we have inbound RevOps, right? We get the website visitor. We are getting them enriched instantly, right? And they are assigned to different people, right? Based on the actual qualification. If they are qualified, we try to book them in, for example, on LinkedIn. If they are not qualified, we disregard them. And the follow-ups are being also generated automatically. We send them automatically the sales, assets, and resources. And there is, of course, the full visibility for the sales team, which is like the juiciest thing about this whole system. And then RevOps to outbound plus inbound. For example, we can do the listening for the signals. And for example, there is some big thing happening in this company, or job changes or some replacements happening, and we'll get alerts based on those high intent signals, right? And we could also update and enrich people based on the outbound lists. So for example, we contacted them 6 months ago, maybe something's changed for them right now, maybe they're in different company, everything is being updated automatically, and we can trigger the sequence for this specific person just with the new sort of information, right? And dashboards, of course, they guide execution, meaning that if we see some sort of rates are lacking, for example, positive reply rate, or we see that people do not convert to the meetings, even if they are interested, then we see that something has to be changed, and based on this, we execute on our whole strategy. But everything pretty much flows into booked meetings, to pipeline, to revenue. That's the whole kind of point of this system. And what are the outcomes, right? If you actually get this stronger system, what does it allow you to do? First of all, you will have predictable weekly meetings, right? You'll start booking more calls straight away on a weekly basis. You'll have higher outbound performance because everything is systemized, everything is interconnected, right? Follow-ups, alerts, everything's automated. Your salespeople are at their peak level of productivity and effectiveness. Then, of course, cleaner operations, shorter sales cycle because you don't miss the leads. You follow up in timely manner, right? You know when to engage with them. Of course, higher conversion rates because your sales rep, they come more prepared. They have more context, better information, so they can use it and leverage it during the sales calls. Automated follow-ups, that's also great. We let our SDRs do their work in a leveraged way. Less manual work as the result, through operational clarity and ability to scale without adding the headcount, because your one SDR, your one sales rep is now able to execute on level of 3 SDRs who are doing their job manually. So that's kind of it. That's the whole point of this system. You connect outbound, inbound, revenue operations. You build an automated system, right? You leverage your salespeople to their maximum potential, and you scale pretty quick and without any chaos or need for hiring the new SDRs. So that's about it. That's how we see our work at Strongest Group. That's how we are helping our B2B companies scale, get more clients, and expand to new markets. So in case you are interested in learning more about how you could build the same system for your own B2B business, right? Feel free to text me, shoot me the message on LinkedIn. We'll talk and see if you are a great fit for being our partner, right? And let me know also in the comments what sort of video should I record next, maybe about social listening or maybe about how to write a great cold email copy. Let me know in the comments and I'll do it. And as always, see you in the next one. Ciao.